Hey, Jake here. First off, thank you for listening to Season 1. That's awesome. As you probably noticed, these episodes have different cover art and go by a different name. What happened is we decided to rebrand to Welcome to Game Corp after Season 1. Don't worry though, Season 1 isn't lacking in quality by any means. In fact, a ton of amazing moments are contained in Season 1, plus you get to meet many of our crazy coworkers for the first time. Thanks again for listening, and welcome to Game Corp.
Head to Head, a video game podcast, provides comparative game reviews with an interwoven fictional narrative, mature content, and a whole bunch of immature content. Please address any complaints to Floor 22, Game Corp USA. Hey.
Oh, hey.
Dude, you sound terrible. Are you sick?
Yeah, so they delivered our mail to Floor 9 on accident, and everyone down there was sick, so I think I caught it too.
Oh yeah, I saw a bunch of dudes in hazmat suits get off on level 9. Something about a containment breach? They must take food theft very seriously.
Oh, that's not good.
You know, I saw some weird stuff on the elevator too. Like some suits got off on floor 3, and I swear I saw goblins walking around down there.
Oh, you mean the daycare? Yeah, I thought they kept those little crotch goblins on level 19.
What? No, not kids. Actual goblins, you know, like bumpy skin, long ears covered in piercings, dressed up in dark shambly rags.
Oh, teens. They're not wretched creatures of darkness. They just like to shop at Hot Topic. The company does seem to be pretty inclusive with the alt crowd here, though. We even have that goth that works security on overnights.
What? Oh, you mean Vlad? The guy in the cloak who's always carrying that chalice and talking about perfect weather for curses?
Wow. You guys really got it out for the emo crowd, huh? Sad people are people too.
No, that's...
Hey there, Luke from IT. Your boss sent me down to upgrade your systems. He said you guys are pretty obsolete.
Finally. Yeah, I told him we need to be upgraded for the show like weeks ago.
Are you doing a software update? Because we're just about to start a show.
Well, I mean, I could, but he asked me to change your hardware, actually. You guys interested in, well, let's see, like, shoulder-mounted flamethrowers?
Cool.
What? Or pneumatic metal legs that could kick a hole straight through a horse's chest? I got horse-seeking missiles that could track a pony for 500 yards out, too.
What are you talking about?
Well, augments, for the episode. Your boss said you could really, spice up the podcast?
Flamethrowers are pretty spicy.
Oh, you mean like a bit for the Cyberpunk theme. Yeah, I get it. Like a soundboard or something. I got it.
Well, if you need lots of sound, I prefer, like, chainsaw hands. They can saw the head off a horse in 3 seconds flat, you know.
No, we don't need any special effects, man. We cover that all in post. Also, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, what's your obsession with killing horses, dude?
My, father was kicked to death by a Clydesdale.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I guess, just do the upgrades to your computers. Let me go get the Windows 95 disk.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, that guy was so weird. Who still uses Windows disks?
Welcome to the second episode of Head to Head, a video game podcast, brought to you by Game Corp, the totally not evil video game media conglomerate. Upper management, in all their infinite wisdom, has hand-chosen us, a couple of low-level employees with zero experience, to serve as your hosts for this head-to-head, no-holds-barred matchup between two games to see which will stand triumphant. We are your hosts. I am Cowboy.
I'm Jake.
And I'm JB, aka Jingbop.
Jesus Christ. In today's battle, we'll be facing off two contenders for the title of Cyberpunk Fix Until 77, releases in 77. Cloudpunk versus Ghostrunner.
And before we get started, we got some great feedback from the audience head-to-head last week, so thank you very much. We're looking forward to getting into that. We also received a lot of praise for Cowboy's art for our website and our different social medias, so props to Cowboy, very well done. Also,
I am the best.
True. And also, the website is live. You can go to h2hpod.com and check us out.
Yeah, and thank you to JB for creating that. I'm still the best, but thanks to him.
Now, before we kind of move on here, we just wanted to have a quick just moment of silence for all the old consoles that are passing away with this new wave coming in.
Starting now?
I think it's already done.
Oh.
All right. Well, out with the old, in with the new, with the Xbox Series X and the other one, and the PlayStation 5. Whatever all that means, man. Coming to you in fucking never, because nobody's going to get any until like, what, March anyway? So, whatever.
What is the other one? I'm not as familiar with consoles. I'm part of the PC masters
You got
of the
an
world.
Xbox at home, boy. Don't you be lying. It's the Series X and the Series S. One looks like a mini fridge. One looks like a speaker.
Which one's the good one?
The Series X, the mini fridge, is the more powerful one. Offers you a cajillion megaflops of super fast what's-a-doozits, and the other one is for kids or something. I don't know. I don't really know, man. We're a game podcast.
I have the Series X sitting in my closet waiting for Christmas, and I don't know if I should be more upset or my children should.
Whoa, you really do?
Yeah.
You got your hands on one. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I was working, don't tell the boss, but I was refreshing 8 different tabs to try to get a pre-order in on time, and they were all breaking. Servers were going down, and I just happened to snag one. And then immediately after I bought it, I went back, and that website was down.
Dang.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you're pretty lucky, man. I've been trying to get a PS5. I mean, we all game on PC, so I don't necessarily see the point of having an Xbox when all those exclusives are going to be on PC. But I'm trying to get the PS5. No luck. Also, speaking of PC gaming, I've been trying to get a hold of a 3080 or a 3070, and also impossible. So I've kind of given up hope.
That sounds like a gun. What is that?
The new graphics card, dude. The RTX 3080 and 3070. It released just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Cowboy's AMD.
I am actually, yeah.
You are?
I love AMD, yeah.
Wait, for graphics cards? I thought you had a.
For guns.
Oh.
Wait, what are we talking about? No, for graphics card, yeah, technically I'm running NVIDIA, but I like AMD as far as everything else, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, man. I do too. I got a Ryzen 3700X in my main PC. I mean, at this point, I'm AMD. Well, I'm AMD all the way as far as CPUs go.
You know, and I wanted to ask before we get too far, like with Jay, aren't you a little worried that buying like that console early, like, what if Santa gets it for you? What are you going to do then?
Oh, my kids have been telling me for a while now that Santa's not real. And I have to keep telling them. Yeah, they came to me and was like, Santa's not real. It's you.
I told them not to tell you. I can't believe they broke my trust like that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
That's a magic you can't get back, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, JB.
Moment of silence for JB for just figuring that out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to gain more weight.
What?
Are you about to make an allusion to the Santa Claus?
I mean, that's what that means, right? If I'm Santa now, isn't that like the law?
Your knowledge of Santa effectively kills Santa for you, which I believe legally enacts the Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I mean, it's all right there in the hit documentary, The Santa Claus.
Yeah, I hit Santa with a knowledge bomb, and he's dead.
The legal document on film, I believe, the legally binding document that was filmed as a 2-hour movie.
Speaking of 2-hour movies, this is something that...
Master of segues.
Segues are weird, guys.
Yeah, they are.
So speaking
Paul
of...
Blart can't even segue that hard.
Damn.
I mean, he's pretty good at segues, so that's that's
Shit.
impressive.
I'm embarrassed that took 3 seconds to kick in.
Oh my god. So 2-hour movies, right? So I remembered something that I wanted to talk about in the intro from last episode and I didn't hit on, and I think it makes me look pretty cool. So, or maybe not cool, but more gives me more nerd cred. Something that I wanted to mention was that my LED W key isn't limited to just, I try to, I don't want to take my time. But I actually have 3 different world records in speedrunning. I'm not going to share the name of the game because it'll share what JB actually stands for, and that's a secret for another day. But I did want to share that.
You really do have 3. This isn't like a bid or something.
No shit.
No, that's legitimate. I had 5. 2 got beaten last year or this year maybe.
Really?
But yeah, I still have 3 that have held for 18 months now.
Dude, I had no idea.
Can you tell us something about them? Or is this...
So the game is a platformer game. So it's you beat the level as fast as you can. And I had 5 different individual level world records. And then now it's 3.
Dang. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
Sure is.
Dude, that's wild. I had no idea that one of our co-hosts is a legend.
A world record holding.
Yeah, I mean, best in the world. It's no big deal.
He is the BOAT, best of all time.
I'll be the first to admit I've never held a video game record for anything ever. All these speedrunning games, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then I'll mosey.
I held a video game record.
Yeah?
Yeah, Pac-Man on vinyl.
Get the fuck out of here.
Vinyl? Did you just spin it back and forth real fast? Waka, 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 waka.
That's what it is. It's the scratch shoot. Waka, waka, waka.
How fast can you waka?
He was the fastest waka.
And I DJ'd it and mixed it with Waka Flocka Flame.
Shit.
It was so... Dude, the club was bumping. Whatever that means.
I can walk at 200 wakas a second.
Oh, yeah, I can Waka it back. I don't know what I heard these phrases on a bus, all right? Don't judge me.
Don't gotta waka because I got a bus pass.
Well, I'm glad I didn't kill the joke. Thanks for that one.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I'm the non-comic relief.
I don't have the skills, so I just have to pay the bills.
You could probably
with
do
money.
Some Tetris Attack stuff.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
It's weird that I'm a legendary player at that. I always wanted to
It's weird. I'm the best in the world.
But I mean I am. I'm pretty dang good. I've back in, not to jump back into high school stories. Let me go get my Letterman jacket from episode 1. But in high school we had a fun time. I would play up to 2 people at once. On the hardest difficulty, I would have them play. I'd have 2 ROMs of it because we just emulated. We can't have a Sega in class. But we emulated the ROM on 2 different computers, and I would jump between the 2 computers playing 2 people at once because I was that good.
No shit.
Yeah. None of you were there, shoot. But yeah, a few people could attest to it, so that is true. I mean, they weren't best of the best with me, but I mean, there was no competition, so it was that good. So that's my claim to fame.
I've played Cowboy so many times at Tetris Attack, and the only times I ever win is when he's on max level, which I think is 9, right? Yeah. And I'm on 3. That's the only way I can ever win. And even then, he sometimes still beats me.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I can see the patterns and the colors and, my mind gears towards that stuff. And then I lose out in all other facets of my life, but it's worth it.
You can see the code behind the colors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He moves like they do.
And, to pay a price in social skills, I think it's worth it.
Oh, it's so worth it.
It's a fair exchange.
Oh, absolutely. So. I can attest to this too. I first found out how good you are at that game. There's a popular video game bar that we go to. That shall rename nameless, so y'all don't mess it up.
No, it has a name. It's not nameless.
I'm not gonna say the name.
I see what you're doing. My bad.
So yeah, one night we were there, drinks in, everyone's having a good time, everyone's getting loose. Cowboy's like, let's play a game. And I'm like, yeah. And then he just wiped the floor with me. He basically embarrassed me and talked down to me like some fucking superstar jock. And I still haven't forgiven him for it.
Yeah. You should have known when I took off my shirt, and then put on sunglasses in the middle of the night. Like, that's a sign.
Yeah.
You should have known. That's your own fault.
Yeah.
Incoming pod drop from floor
Hey-o!
22.
Drop pod. We know what this one is. Can't surprise us.
What is it?
All right. Here. Give it. I guess I'll open it. Hey. Okay. So... more listener questions. All right. Cool.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Also, there's a note. It's it's a post-it note. Let me see. We're going to have a guest. We're going to have a guest later, I guess. Hey.
A guest?
A guest. Something to look forward to. I guess we're going to have a guest.
Cool. That's kind of ominous. Is it in bold red letters? Is it like a threat?
I mean, it was... No.
Okay.
No, it's... We're having a guest. So something to look forward to later in the podcast. But let's jump into listener questions. The first one is from Edward from the internet. Edward asks, will Valve ever finish a trilogy?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because of the Half-Life series, right?
Well, it's more than that, man. It's
Portal.
more than that. It's Half-Life. It's Portal. It's Left 4 Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Team Fortress stopped it too.
Oh my god, I just got goosebumps. Here's what they're going to do. I figured it out. I know their plan because it's exactly what I would do. Work with me here.
Okay.
They're going to release Left 4 Dead 3.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to release Portal 3.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Everybody's
going to be like,
right.
Half-Life is coming. It's coming. It's the third, but they're not going to finish the trilogy of the trilogies.
No, here's what I think. They are working on the ultimate game. They're working on Left 4 Half Portals 3.
Oh, the ultimate mashup.
Fortress.
Oh.
Left 4 Half Fortress Portals 3. The video game.
Where all of our titular heroes finally come together in one massive game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gordon Freeman. Or Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Gordon Frieden. Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Schmorgan. Back from his trip in Switzerland, Morgan Gordon Freeman, as the spy, or as the heavy, traverses through, Black Mesa using portals. It sounds like an amazing game. Him being chased by zombies, blasting portals, while also laying down turrets. I'm down for that.
That's probably already a Gary's Mod thing.
I was about to say that sounds like exactly what would be on Gary's Mod 10 years ago. Like,
what if Gary's Mod was Half-Life 3 and we didn't like it, so they didn't say anything? Here it is. What's this piece of shit? It's called Gary's Mod. It's Gary's Mod. Gary made it.
Gary made it. It's a mod.
Gary made it. Get him.
Oh my god. They're like, you want to test this unnamed game from Valve, and people play it out. They're doing like focus testing. They're like, this game is shit. And they're like, oh yeah, Project Gary's Mod. Like, that's so funny to me.
The greatest Half-Life story is the story you can make yourself, right, guys?
Oh, fuck. That sounds like something they would pull today. Like, does it not?
No.
We're ahead
idiots.
of their time.
Just make us our game.
That just made me realize being ahead of your time isn't always a good thing.
Not always.
Well, yeah, because then, like, you can't get back to the past.
Yeah.
Like, you're stuck. That's what happened in Avengers, I think.
Yeah, and Idiocracy.
Yeah.
And at least one of the Back to the Futures.
So I think the short answer is no.
No.
Oh, yeah. What did we land on? So, no, but serious answer. Do we think they're going to release any of those games a third version? Because he said, will they finish a trilogy?
I mean, if you're going ever...
Well, let's just say those top-known games.
I don't think they're ever going to make a Team Fortress 3.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, here's the thing. They're releasing games like after Portal 2, they released like some side stories and stuff. I think there might be like a curse on Valve where the number 3 just does, because they released Half-Life Alyx for the VR. And I got to watch my brother play that across the stream, and that's a full-on like Half-Life game. That's got all the elements, all the puzzles, and it's in VR only, and it's actually super cool. But they just didn't call that Half-Life 3. I think there's some weird curse.
Maybe it's not a curse. Maybe it's like trying to control the hype. Because if they release a game in the Half-Life universe, people are like, it's probably okay. And then they play it and it's great because it's Half-Life quality. But if they say, this is Half-Life 3, we finally made it, there's no way it lives up to the hype.
Well,
That's true.
yeah, there's a problem with, because the initial game is like, oh, hey, this is good. And that's a point. And then you throw out the second game, they're like, oh, this is even better. And that creates a line. And so they can draw that line up and say, the next game is going to be even higher than these two. But then now they have something to meet. So I think they don't release the third one because they can't meet that, that trend in the line. I think they perfected it with the second game, and they're just like, we can't top this. We can't meet. Yeah, like you're saying, the hype of 3.
Yeah, and when like the next game in the series is so hyped it becomes a meme, it probably is a financial disaster to release it because, yeah, it just won't live up to it. I do think a Left 4 Dead 3 would work, though.
I do too.
I was going to say that. I was going to say Left 4 Dead 3, that's a solid gameplay format that you don't have to live up to hype. We just want more of the same thing.
Same with Portal 3.
More of that. Yeah,
Portal
2, I guess.
okay, so I don't know. I would argue maybe Portal would be a little too hard. Portal 2 was really, really good, and its narrative was it was leaps and bounds ahead of Portal 1. I think they did so good. And spoilers for a years old game now. Don't you finally get out in Portal 2, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that story's done.
It feels like you're... spoilers. Yeah. I'm going to say you feel not alive at the end, but there's no way to tell.
Do you die?
Not alive.
I can't
You don't
remember.
know.
Is it ambiguous? It's been a while since I played it. I know. Okay, so spoiling the shit out of it.
kick-ass
Whatever.
ending.
Spoilers. Yeah, Gladys comes back online. We send the other guy to the moon.
That's
and-
such a beautiful sequence.
Yeah, it
My
was
God.
really good. The end of that game is so good. You're right. Okay.
It blows your mind when you see that little tink off in the distance.
Yeah.
Like, I probably got what is that, Frisian? The goosebumps when that happened. Like, it was they did that perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
So Ed from the internet, I believe the answer is no. Trilogies from Valve are cursed, and something bad will happen if they do.
Nah. All right, we got a couple more here. Next is Bryce. Bryson Sales. Hey, what's up, Bryce?
Hey, Bryce.
Bryce writes, your podcast will fail, and I'm the one that ate your lunch last week. Oh, come on. All right. Anyway, fuck you, Bryce.
That guy's a bully. I don't know why
Moving
I said
on. Austin from the internet asks, who is your favorite video game villain?
That's a
Favorite-
good one.
Yeah,
That's a thinker, ain't it?
Yeah.
it's a stinker. I want to say Mario, but that's not right, so I won't.
He was
JB.
always keeping Luigi down, like literally in the sewer.
I mean, he's running a monopoly. He's like a Mark Zuckerberg type, so I don't know if that's accurate, but like it feels like, he's got a monopoly on all that. Have you heard all the theories that like Bowser is like taking the princess back and the princess is like got Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah,
Like-
I've heard all that, yeah.
Yeah. So greatest villain, favorite villain of all time.
It's just
I
favorite.
know.
Not the greatest. Not who you think's greatest. Just your favorite, your personal favorite.
Okay, so when I thought about it, when I really thought about it, something that stood out to me, I'm gonna say I think it's Voss from Far Cry 3. Correct me if that's not his name. Far Cry 3, he's the dude with the scar running up his forehead and the short hair with, I think, a tiny mohawk.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I do not remember his name either, but...
Yeah. I think it's Voss. He's got that line like, did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Or is it intensity?
Is he the guy that invites you to like lunch at the beginning of the game?
No.
Or is that a different game?
That's
you're
4.
thinking of the third. That's 4.
Yeah.
I don't think I played 3.
3, all thanks to the voice actor. Let's say this is akin, and I'll name this as a runner-up, akin to Handsome Jack from the Borderlands series.
Okay.
All on the voice actor just delivering like stellar takes on the lines, just perfectly done. The most believable personality coming out like the face of a video game character I've ever seen. So those 2 are my favorite villains. I got to give it up to them.
Oh, was 3 the one where you're like backpacking with your brother or something?
Yeah, you're Jason Brody.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm on the same page.
Yeah, you're the bros
Jason
who becomes a fucking super killer by the end.
Yeah, dude. He's such a brosif. Like, I hated playing as him. I was like, man, I kind of want to throw this guy off a cliff just because. I'll just throw him off a cliff and restart, go parasailing, and then just let go and drop him whenever he says these stupid lines.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about this whole favorite video game villain for a while, and the first thought that popped up in my head still hasn't left, so I feel like I got to go with it, even though there may be one I like more. But I'm going to go with Darth Revan from the Knights of the Old Republic series.
Oh,
or I guess
choice.
just the first one. I loved that game.
You mean Darth Maul? Who's Darth Revan?
Darth Revan. He was made up because the Old Republic series is kind of like outside of the established movie universe. So they went back before everything else and they created a new Darth, and it was Darth Revan. And he's kind of like the new... He reminds me a little bit of the new Darth guy from the newest trilogy. In looks
I think
only,
that was
not really an attitude.
Yeah, that was a nod. I think that was an intentional nod to him.
Yeah.
I don't think I played that. I don't play political games like Old Republic, so I try to stay out of that.
You never played Knights of the Old Republic? Oh my god, you have to play it. It holds up to today, and you can get it on your phone. They made an Android port for it.
It's the predecessor to Mass Effect, right?
Kind of in spirit. It was the big title they worked on before they started Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, their way. See, you guys love those games, and I wish I could. I think I have a problem with attention span or something because I know they're good when I'm playing them, but I if I put it down, I won't go back.
Is that just RPGs in general? Because
no,
you've destroyed Final Fantasy VII.
I have gotten the walkthrough, the 372-page or whatever walkthrough for Final Fantasy VII, and I have put that game into the ground. Every page, from opening title letter to final period, I have done everything.
Wow.
Yeah, and twice at least, because I redid it again. There's just something about that where it's just good to just do every aspect of that game. But to be more relevant, Skyrim is amazing. That and that's an RPG I can sink my teeth into, but the standoffishness of Mass Effect and stuff where everything's away from you, everything's a button prompt, everything's got a circle over it that says hit A. It doesn't immerse me like Skyrim and the other ones will. Fallout kind of immerses me. It's about a half measure.
It depends on the Fallout, really.
It really does. All right, so this whole time I've been mulling it over, and it's hard for me to pick, man. 100%, if you consider him, which, I mean, it's a gray area, but some people would consider Mr. House a villain. And I thought his character, his development, who he is, his backstory, his motivations, how he gets things done. I loved him. He was such a cool character to either fight against or side with. I'm going to name a couple, man, because I had too hard of a time choosing.
Well, hold on. Who's Mr. House? I don't know that.
Did you never play New Vegas?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me back it up. He runs the post-apocalyptic Vegas Strip. When he was alive, before the nukes fell, he was a philanthropist and an inventor.
Mm-hmm.
And when everything went to shit, he started working to slowly get everything back together. When he started getting older, he actually kind of plugged himself into a big supercomputer and became and I mean his body is still alive, but he was basically an AI at that point.
Zordon.
Yeah, actually, yes. He's Fallout's Zordon, but but
Is he a big
takes
talking head?
yeah.
Yes.
He's Fallout Zordon, dude. But
That's a good guess.
yeah, that was a great guess. But he gets shit done. But yeah, depending on how you feel and your motivations, you either work with him, bring all the clans together around New Vegas, and prop himself up. He has grand plans to eventually colonize another planet because he feels that Earth is fucked forever. So he's a big picture guy. He's a bad guy for a lot of people in the game, but his intentions were always to help humanity. And not like turn them into machine monsters or anything like that. Like legitimately help humanity and fuck anyone else who is against him. I really liked him.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was he had layers.
Yeah, that's like chaotic good, but in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because the way you read him to me was like as a good guy, but like, yeah, that's New Vegas is the best Fallout in your guys' opinion. I think I've heard that.
Narratively, leaps and bounds, man. What they did with that game was so unique. It is a branching narrative path, so you get to choose what you're doing, but they put so much time into the branching narrative that it can account for a choice you made like fucking 8 choices ago that changed 8 different things. Like it was the most... Okay, it felt the most alive to me.
Yep.
Okay. See, that might finally get me into it. Because I've only dipped into Fallout in half measures, and like they can't hook me. I'll give that one a try and see if it can finally like pull me in. Because once I'm in, I'm in. I'll probably like play all the other ones to get more, build my knowledge base and everything.
Yeah.
New Vegas is fine as a standalone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It really is.
Well, then,
my other
fuck the
choice
other
was Sigma. Sigma from the Mega Man X series because I could never beat him as a kid and fuck him. Okay. And that's it.
Donkey Kong. For wealth hoarding. For having all those bananas. With the whole thing about the 1% right now. He's a villain.
He is a prime example of how trickle-down economics do not work.
That's so true. Like even the Donkey Kong, like the SNES games where you had to travel through the world, all you were doing was taking back bananas from like the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or weird looking monsters, but still.
He's like the anti-Robin Hood.
Yeah. I never thought about it like that, but it's actually pretty true.
It is really true. Yeah.
All his bananas get taken, and what's he do? He walks right out his front door and starts beating the shit out of everyone he sees. Every creature in that wood, he starts banging his, arms against and jumping on their heads. And who knows if they even had anything to do with it. They seem to be just minding their business.
It is pretty on brand for a Monkey King, though.
Yeah, that's true. He even attacks the soldier, which, that's not right. You gotta respect our troops.
Is he supposed to be the character in Rampage?
No.
No, they're related, but...
like cousins.
I think he was
his name is George, I think, in Rampage.
George Kong?
Just George.
Wasn't he he was the bad guy in, why am I forgetting this? He really was the bad guy in,
the Mario arcade game. Yeah.
Yep.
How did we all forget he was the bad? Suddenly you give him a game called Donkey Kong Country. You give him like a country kind of feel, make him grassroots, and suddenly we forgive everything he did? Like, what's up with that?
I think they moved past it with some behind-the-scenes narrative choices. Like,
spin this web for me. I'm all in.
Yeah, okay, so... perfect example, in Mario Odyssey, the newest 3D platformer for the Mario franchise. You go to a city in one of the levels called New Donk City. And it actually, I'm serious, it's New Donk City.
New Donk City.
It's real.
Yeah, and it pays tribute. It pays tribute to Mario and Donkey Kong's origins.
Oh, my God.
And they even have like a party, and you go through a segment showing like the old school stuff. And forgive me, video game god, because I have sinned. I can't remember the name of the lady that you save in the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and she's
Rebecca.
No, she wears a red dress. She's a prominent character in New Donk City. Actually, you help her. She sings the number. Like you meet the lady that you saved, like the original lady that came before Peach.
Are you talking about like is this a spoiler? The mayor? Are you talking about the mayor?
I am talking about the mayor.
No.
The mayor, like M-A-R-E, like a horse?
No, M-A-Y-O-R.
Mayor.
Oh, okay.
The mayor of New Donk City. You go around and you get all
Yes.
the musical people, and you have to find the drummer and the saxophonist or whatever.
Yeah, man. She's the lady from the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. Yeah, she's who you save.
How do I miss all of these little things? Because that's something that blows my mind. And I thought you were joking when you said they brought Donkey Kong onto the good side through narrative, and then you literally prove it. I'm in awe. That's impressive.
That's why they call me the lore nerd, baby.
I'm still caught up on the mayor of New Donk City. That's supremely funny to me. Well, I don't get why you guys don't find that as funny as I do. It's hilarious.
Context,
Mayor.
I guess.
The only problem is I just can't remember
of
her
New
name.
Donk City.
Yeah.
It was something like Rebecca.
It was not. But to finalize the answer here for you, Ed, from the internet,
Austin.
Donkey Kong. Oh, yeah, I'm ahead of my time. Austin this time. I'm behind my time. Apparently.
Pauline.
Pauline.
It's Pauline.
It was Pauline. See what I did for you there?
Wow.
Gave you time to think.
All right, and that was listener questions brought to you by Chicken of the Rail Yard Chunk Light Feline, now in a variety of flavors. Made by cats, for cats, of cats.
Oh. Now,
Yeah, my grandma used to use that.
Now, before we move on, we here at Head to Head don't believe ourselves to be the end-all be-all when it comes to passing judgment on video game battles. We are just three guys with a passion for video games and implied violence. So, we'd like to extend the gavel to you, trusty listener, to help weigh in on what we call the Audience Head-to-Head. The Audience Head-to-Head is brought to you by Farmville Facebook notifications. Farmville, your crops are ready. We cannot die. We are Legion. Last episode, we asked, which game had the better bean people? The results were overwhelming, with 70% of you voting for Fall Guys. We even had one listener write in Pokemon Stadium. I'm assuming they were confused about either the definition of bean or Pokemon Stadium. For this week's Audience Head-to-Head, we ask, which game or series did romance subplots better? The cucumber and sprinkler-heavy Stardew Valley, or the perfectly round and firm planet-laden series Mass Effect?
Woof.
You can reply to this episode's post on Twitter or message us directly with who you think wins the battle to help us decide the results.
And remember, that is head2headpod@gmail.com if you wish to email.
Those are some vastly different games. That's going to be interesting. So, I know we're not reviewing it or anything, but I want to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, because I've been holding in some secret hype. I've been trying to stay off the bandwagon, stay out of the trailers, staying off everything so I can be pleasantly surprised.
Oh, dude, yeah, me too. Me too.
Same.
But yeah, because I just wanted to, I don't want to hear people's opinions. I don't want to hear complaining about the delays. I want this to hit me like a wave. Like I'd never heard of this game before. I went and downloaded it like, oh, what's this? It must be some indie release. And I want this just to bowl me over.
Yep.
So you guys excited? Anybody got trepidation about this game coming out?
Well, yeah, okay, so there is one thing that has me a little worried, but I don't know if it's even a big deal or not.
Okay.
I was following it for a while. I tried not to, but I couldn't, man. CD Projekt Red so far in their career has pumped out gold. I adore the Witcher series. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm all about what's going to happen with this game. And there was an announcement, and it was a long time ago, and I don't think anyone even cares anymore. But when they first showcased the game, you could see your character in cutscenes. They had actually like scripted cutscenes that were in third person. You saw your character doing things like that.
Oh yeah.
A few months after that, they said that's not going to be the case anymore. That any cutscene stuff is now in first person. It's staying first person. It's all in first person. I was really taken aback by that. Because it does lead me into questions about character creation. And we know all the memes about character creation. But how much are we going to get to see our badass character that we made? How much does it even matter what we look like if the entire game is in first person? How much do cosmetics matter? How much do different outfits matter? Things like that. So that had me thinking maybe they encountered, I don't know, maybe they encountered something that was a major fuck up and they just had to tear apart the game. Like that is the one thing that had me worried.
Like, why would they have to do that? What would cause that change? It would have to be, because it can't just be a style choice, right? It has to be something.
Have you seen any of the Assassin's Creeds?
Yes. Like any of them? I've seen them.
Yeah, you know, like, okay, so they have the third person stuff going on in Assassin's Creed. And you know how many times I played this game? AAA game, $60. I buy it, and your head starts glitching through your ass, and your like arms are twitching through things. First person solves all of that. I would rather have an immersive first person experience than a buggy mess, though that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, I just picture myself in all these scenarios. Because I could really see me doing any of that.
That is true. That does allow you to immerse yourself more. First-person RPGs really do allow you to be the character.
They gotta have mirrors, though. If they don't have mirrors, that's rough.
Yeah.
They kind of do. Because, I mean, you buy stuff, you spend... who doesn't spend like 20 minutes, 30 minutes on character creation, fine-tuning their Skyrim character that they will never go into the third person for? Like, I'm so guilty of that.
I think sometimes everybody is.
Yeah.
I forget, and then I'll pop out and I'll be like, why am I a lizard? Why did I choose to do that?
Oh, I'm a cat,
no wonder everybody hates me.
That was 20 hours ago.
20 hours, and I'm like weirded out. Why did that person call me leather skin? Am I out in the sun too much?
Or you created your character while drinking and having fun, and then you see it for the first time and it's a monstrosity, and you're like, why did I think maxing out all the sliders was a good idea?
Yeah. Cowboy, do you remember your character you made for Dragon Age?
Oh, God.
Baconator, I think the name was.
The Baconator.
The Baconator.
Why do companies let you... do that? Why are the min-max sliders so far out beyond the reasonable means of a human being's proportions? Why can I make my face about 2 feet wide and only about 4 inches like narrow, tiny, so I look like a clam with a body? Why do they let me do this?
I think it all stems back to those like WWF games.
Oh yeah,
where you could create your custom wrestlers. You could just make their skin green, because why not?
You know what's funny? I was actually just Xbox Game Pass has UFC 3 that I think just came out, and so I like that series, so I downloaded it. And for the third time in a row for these games, I am dedicated to making Paul Blart in the character creation.
Oh, how cool.
I do it every single one. And I pull up a picture on my laptop of Paul Blart on his Segway, and I meticulously, and I had my wife and my mother-in-law, who was with us, and they were helping me sculpt Paul Blart onto this humongous
rip. You made it a family event.
It was and they were into it. I thought they would be weirded out, and they were like, no, you should drop that. Yeah, and then make the mustache a little leaner. And the problem is, you can't make like a Paul Blart fat guy. He's jacked, so it's a scary Paul Blart. Like Mall Cop would have been like an R-rated movie if this Paul Blart was in it. Like those guys wouldn't have stood a chance. And he's good. Oh man, he destroys and matches. Like, I want to see that Paul Blart like 5 where he gets jacked and it's just a slaughter fest.
So you basically made Judge Blart.
Judge Blart. Yeah, instead of a Segway, it's a motorcycle. He's much cooler now. I would love that movie. They should have that arc for him, where he goes from dopey to Terminator. I would enjoy that.
I think they did that in the movies. Well, not the Paul Blart movies, but there was a Paul Blart movie, and then there was a movie where he played a UFC fighter.
Really?
What?
Oh, yeah. He went from Paul Blart to... He was like a high
Wait,
school...
Do you mean the actor, or do you mean Paul Blart?
Okay. His name is not Paul Blart. We're not talking about the real Paul Blart.
His name is either Paul Blart or it's Doug from...
King of Queens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either Doug or Paul. Take your pick.
His name is, the actor's name is Kevin.
Kevin James.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You mean Kevin Hart?
No.
That's a different guy.
It's funny that nobody ever talks about King of Queens, but we all love it. We all love that show deep down, and nobody talks about it like it's a cult classic.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, King of Queens was always a good time.
Holy shit! Holy
what
shit.
the fuck?
What?
Okay. What is... Okay, here, let me... Somebody threw a hammer. Somebody threw a hammer. Oh, and
Are they doing construction out there? What the hell?
Somebody just threw a hammer through our window. Let me
Through
pick
the
it up.
22nd floor? That's amazing.
Okay.
That fucking arm on him.
Oh, it's got something tied around the handle. Hold on, let me see. Okay.
Like a ribbon?
Let me open it up. Oh. It's a segment. Okay.
What?
So, hope you guys are ready for this. This segment is Trivia Questions, brought to you by Bounty Hunting by Cleo, specializing in the capture of psychic animals. Cleos. They should see us coming. I said animals. I meant to say criminals.
Psychic animal sounds pretty neat.
I think that's fine.
I mean,
Whatever,
wasn't that
we're getting
like
paid.
Alf?
Cleo won't be mad.
We're getting paid. Let's just get into it. All right.
Was Alf psychic?
No, he could have been.
Or did he just eat cats?
Yeah, but does eating cats give you power? Anyway, okay, so, okay, I got it. So I'm gonna be Alex Trebek, and you guys,
The late and great.
The late and great. Yeah, rest in peace, man. I was super sad to hear that Alex Trebek passed away. Jeopardy is awesome. I guess this can be our little tribute to him.
I'll be Johnny Carson.
Okay, so you guys are going to be the contestants, and if you have the answer, you gotta ring in with a buzzer. Come up with some buzzers real quick.
Auga.
Perfect. All right, and I believe this is... You know what? We're just gonna go through it and see how many points we get in the end. Okay.
Real quick, what do we win?
Oh, let me see.
Hammer, right?
Yeah, can I have the hammer?
It's the trophy.
You can have the hammer.
No,
Nice.
not yet. You must win it.
You can win the hammer. Okay,
All right.
so ready your buzzers. Here comes the first question. All
Okay,
right.
it works.
This generation of Pokemon games is the only generation to feature monotyped final evolutions for all 3 starter Pokemon.
Auga.
Oh, Cowboy in first.
Pokemon Snap.
Incorrect.
Damn it.
I am going to go with... Do I get to go?
Yeah.
Generation 3.
Gen 3 with Ruby and Sapphire, that is incorrect. The correct answer is Gen 2 with Gold and Silver.
Oh.
Damn it, Jake. You know I'm a Digimon diehard. How dare you?
Digimon are the champions.
Digimon. Digital monsters.
Why did he evolve into a bad skeleton? Why did he evolve from a friendly dinosaur into a bad skeleton monster?
Metaphor for
That's not a question.
He
Okay.
better not be allowed to answer that.
Japan.
1 point for JB. Next question.
It was a metaphor for the stages of death. It was grief. That was the meteor killing the dinosaurs. Final answer.
That's good. I'm going to give him my point.
Okay, 1 point for Cowboy. All right. Question number 2. We all know Knights of the Round is the most powerful summon in Final Fantasy VII, but if statted right, this character's signature limit break nets over 1 million points of damage.
Oh.
Yes?
Tifa.
I'm looking for... Incorrect. I'm looking for character and move.
Awuga. It's Kate Sith. Is it his lucky break?
Incorrect.
Tifa Lucky Sevens.
Incorrect. If statted right, I mean, it's just the classic. It's Cloud with his Omni Slash.
Oh, I was thinking of the glitch one. Yeah, no, his Omni Slash is... Dang it, yeah. I think that's by the books. That's the best.
All right, it's still 1-0 Cowboy.
Oof.
Oh.
Yay.
All right.
Wait. I got a point for what?
For your grief, stages of grief.
Yeah, you got Digimon right.
Oh, I'm a winner.
We asked what is Digimon, and you answered yes, and you got the point. Okay.
Oh, we're doing the Santa Claus rules. I got this.
Question number 3. You'd love to chat with this fan favorite character, but it's gonna have to wait. He's in the middle of some calibrations. Yes.
Master Chief?
No.
Give it to me again.
You'd love to chat with this fan favorite character, but it's gonna have to wait. He's in the middle of some calibrations. This is a line you would have heard 400 times playing the game.
Auga.
Yeah.
Tetris Attack.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I know it is.
It's Garrus Vicarian, specifically from Mass Effect 2.
Oh, is that your cat in Mass Effect?
That's Garrus the Turian.
Yeah, the cat.
The cat. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes. Your space cat, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
Question number,
good for him.
whatever.
Oh my God! You go and talk to him, and he's always okay.
You get it. You got it.
I still that entire time I'm like, what are you talking about? And then it finally dawned on me, and I'm like, oh yeah, he says that every time. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
You get it. Point for
Shepherd.
JB. It's 1-1. Okay,
Oh.
so existing as a yin to Alduin, the World Eater's yang, this dragon from the Elder Scrolls series feels dragons can learn to be good.
Oh my God.
Tip of your tongue, ain't it?
Yeah. Awuga. Panthenugan.
That's
so close.
It's so close.
Panthrax.
That's even closer.
Panama Jack.
Oh my God, you're right around it, and
You were so close.
Jathrix.
No.
Pathinx.
No.
Pythagorean.
No.
Pythagoras.
Pantac. Panteria. Panthulix.
Old guy.
Panthulu.
Old dragon guy at the top of the mountain at the end of the game.
What is his name?
I always called him good old Panny McPan, and we're cool like that. I think he would be okay with that.
Patrick.
I always called him Pat, and he was like, "That's cool. I like that." So he would want you to give the points to me.
Parax.
The correct answer is Parthenax.
Oh God, we were so close.
Yeah, you guys were really, really close. I will award 1/2 point to each of you. Now it's 1/2 to 1/2, 1.5 to 1.5.
Yeah.
I don't.
The net value of 0. I'm awarding 0.5 point to each.
I don't want to cut a point in half. I would rather it go to the loser, Cowboy.
I don't want your 0.5 point, but I'll take it. Thank you.
2-1. Okay, next question.
Oh wait, we're not doing the whole king thing. If you want to cut it in half, then you don't get it.
2-1 Cowboy.
I'll take my half point. Give it back. Give it back.
These inconspicuous pieces of level decor will allow Mario to drop and run behind the scenes in Mario 3.
Awuga.
Yep.
You need the name of it? Is it a punch box?
Not a punch box.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cloud. This is a cloud.
No.
Awooga.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, honestly.
It's the white block. Mario 3. Remember, you
Cloud
crouch on the
block.
white block. The white block.
Oh, it's white. I
Like
thought you were looking for a name
cloud.
like
Just the white block.
like Barry
No.
or like
It's specifically the white block.
Parthenax. Okay.
There are 2
that's
questions left.
fair. This isn't going
We're
well.
And so
bad.
far, it's 2-1 Cowboy.
We're going to get fired.
So much for sexy game, Daddy.
We only said
All
we know a
right.
thing or two. We didn't say we know all the things.
Oh, I hope
And
one
those
of you
two
gets
things
this.
are not on here.
I hope one of you gets this right.
Okay. I'm ready.
This is the real name of the flying fox Tails, who made his first debut in Sonic 2.
Awooga.
Yep.
Awooga.
Yeah.
It's Miles.
What's the full name?
What?
Fuck. The full name.
He has a last name.
Foxman.
Yeah, but Tailspin?
He has a last name, and his name is a pun.
9 tails.
No.
9 lives.
No.
Fox
Sly.
It's Fox E Boxing.
That's
Wait, his name was Miles. Miles.
It's Miles. It's Miles something.
it's Miles Foxman or Miles.
How is that a pun?
It's
You know what a
Miles
pun is?
Smith. No, it's not Miles Smith.
Miles McKilometers.
Oh, you're actually kind of close
With kilometers?
with the concept.
Oh my gosh.
Miles and Miles.
Is this open book?
No. Okay, so the correct answer is miles per hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm serious.
No.
Yeah, that's his full name. Tails' full name is miles per hour. It's spelled Prower, per hour.
Part of my childhood just died with that pun, honestly. Like, I don't feel good inside with that. That cheapens him to me, and I thought he was better than Sonic, dude. I feel
So,
dirty.
by this point in the game... I kind of
Trivia or Sonic?
Trivia. I kind of expected you guys to have a few more points, but
Do
so
better. You're asking like easy questions for you, but you have to remember we don't pay attention
some of
to
these
stories.
are
or-
harder questions, but some of these should have been super easy.
I gotta
Okay.
go fast. I don't got time to know
Yeah,
about miles
all right.
per hour.
All right, here is the
You
final
take your
question.
should'ves.
Here is the final. Here is the final question.
All
And
right.
if any of you guess this, if any of you guess it, you win the game.
Do we have to get it right or just guess?
No, you have to get it right.
You shouldn't have said anything because then
You have
rules
to
is
get it
rules.
right. Ain't
Okay.
nothing say a dog can't play basketball. So anyway, here is the. It's basically the golden snitch of questions.
Okay.
Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
In the game, Bubble Bobble,
yeah.
the characters Bub and Bob, the Bubble Dragons, they're on a mission. What's the mission?
To save the aliens. Save the aliens.
No.
Dang it.
To kill God. No. Ooga. To restore peace in the Middle East.
No.
To save the queen.
You're getting closer.
The king.
Awooga. To usurp the throne and slay the king.
That's much farther. That's much farther.
To restore the throne.
No.
And wait, no, I'm not. Awooga. To fight the British.
No.
To
Okay.
save the princess.
To save the prince. Awooga.
No. All right. I'm calling it, and I'm about to lore drop.
Bubble Bobble
Bobble.
does not have lore.
It 100% does, and
Bubble
fucking
Bobble
buckle
does not
up.
have lore.
Y'all better
I
buckle up for this ride.
I skipped the opening cinematics, so
Y'all
that's my
better
fault.
buckle up for this ride because I'm about to wow you.
I think you have
About
you
Bubble
need to hit a
Bobble.
button to not skip the.
Here
Okay,
it
go
comes.
ahead.
I'm going to read the plot, okay? I'm just going to read the plot.
Spoilers.
Yeah, okay, spoiler alert for Bubble Bobble. In a certain village where everyone lives peacefully, Bub and Bob lived alongside their girlfriends, Betty and Patty.
Oh
One
my
day,
God.
the two girls left the village to explore the nearby woods, stumbling into a mysterious area known as the Magician's Forest. Due to unfamiliar surroundings, the two became lost, accidentally wandering into a cave deep in the forest known as the Cave of Monsters. The girls met super drunk. I'm not kidding. The fucking bad guy of Bubble Bobble, if you beat all 100 levels. His name is Super Drunk, and his signature move is throwing empty beer bottles at you, by the way.
He's super drunk.
Yeah. The girls met Super Drunk, master of the cave, who kidnapped them and trapped them on the 100th floor. Bub and Bob set out to rescue the two, but ran afoul of Super Drunk as well, who transformed them into bubble dragons. They didn't start as dragons! Using their newfound abilities, the two set out to journey through all 100 floors and rescue their girlfriends.
Can I tell you something? I tried to temper my ridiculousness for your guys' sake, so I did not say that they were on a never-ending quest to save their girlfriend.
You should have. I thought you were going to guess it.
I was gonna say, because it's from the show Drawn Together, and he always said that, and I was like, no, Jake is getting pretty straight laced here. We need to focus, buckle down. Oh, I didn't.
That's
focus or
why
buckle
I
down.
included the question.
Gotta trust your instincts.
What world do we live in that Bubble Bobble has lore?
Everything.
Bubble
has
Bobble
lore.
also has 3 endings. It has 3 separate endings depending on what you do.
Why?
Oh my god.
Why?
Why?
That is not the game for that.
If you choose not to abandon the orphan on the 45th level, he will grow up to become the great evil wizard and save you later. Now, you're going to want to check your romance options when going through here, because they will decide how the end cinematic plays out. That's Bubble Bobble.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's trivia. Nothing matters.
Do we
Cowboy
both
wins a
lose?
hammer.
You won.
Yeah.
You won the hammer.
You win. Yeah, you win this patented Game Corp stainless steel head hammer. Good for you.
That's neat. We could share their hammer.
Yeah,
That's
give me that
nice.
hammer, bro.
Sure. Here you go. Now pass it back to me.
Pass what back?
I do love visual gags in an audio medium. I'll just say that.
Oh, look at the way he's holding it. Look what he's making it look like. That's raunchy.
like that? I don't need
we're
no
gonna have
dong
to
slider
cut this
now.
section. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. Oh, both hands? Oh, my.
Mm-hmm. I can fit 4.
Okay, that's a little too far, man.
What?
So would you? Yeah, no, take it out of there.
What?
Yeah, no, man. Think of the kids. Don't think of the kids.
Don't do that.
Jesus
Don't the kids.
Think of adults, but stop. Okay.
Stop what?
Wait, do you hear that knocking?
Yeah. What was that? Are the computers low on oil again?
Nah, man. Someone's knocking on the door. Cowboy, did you hook up the red light to let people know we were recording?
Yeah. Well, I mean, half of them are red. The other half are green. Some of them just twinkle, you know?
Christmas lights?
Christmas lights.
No worries. I'll get it.
No, but we're still recording.
Hey there, miss. No, not a bad time at all.
Oh, I know that voice. I don't like where this is going. I heard that exact dialogue in a late night Skinamax movie.
Whoa.
I'm out of here.
All right. While we wait for this perfectly normal interruption, I'll mention this podcast is sponsored by Raid Shadow Leggings. The only leggings with annoying mobile ads built right into them. Download a copy today. What?
Yeah, it's spelled JB with a J and a B. All lowercase, yeah. Hey, you want to see my hammer? Hey, come back.
Yo, who was it? What do they want?
Nothing. It was just a signature. Some girl in a green hood dropping off a delivery.
Oh, was it Rania from Cloudpunk?
We've been over this, Cowboy. Video game characters aren't real.
It was just a joke.
All right, still recording, man. The boss is still listening.
Oh, hey, look, there's a note. And it's from the boss. Listen up, numbskulls. I ordered these for the episode to help you guys with your episode. Excuse the micromanagement. And he put micromanagement in, like, quotes. Then it just says, aha, ah, ha, ha, ah, ha, ha, ha. Now get to the showdown.
All right, man. What's in the box then?
Yeah, what's in the box? Better not be Gwyneth Paltrow's head, dude, because, like, I think 7 already did that.
Oh my God.
What is it?
It's the dong sliders from 2077.
From the character creation? Oh, man, how's that possible?
I don't know, but they have our names on them.
Oh, wait, hey, let me see mine. It's the one that's probably maxed out. I'll take that.
All right. I think we're going to go ahead and cut to our mid-show sponsor. But after that, get ready for a showdown. Head to Head, a video game podcast, is brought to you by Simmons Milk Alternative Solutions. Are you one of 30 million Americans who suffer from lactose intolerance, but think today's milk alternatives aren't for you? Simmons Milk Alternative Solutions has you in mind. For over 30 years, Simmons Milk Alternative Solutions has found creative and fun new ways to extract milk product from unique and unexpected sources and deliver it fresh to your fridge via their patented Fast Milk delivery system. Today, Simmons Milk Alternative Solutions is excited to announce their new do-it-yourself milk maker system. With the new do-it-yourself milk maker, you'll be creating new ways to make milk product at home. Old beef about to expire? Process it through the milk maker and enjoy a refreshing glass of meat milk. Laundry piling up? Throw it in the milk maker and have a refreshing glass of shirt milk ready to go. I've been using the do-it-yourself milk maker system for 2 weeks now, and my mornings have never been whatever this is that's happening to me right now. Head-to-Head listeners can receive 10% off their do-it-yourself milk maker system by using offer code PODMILK at checkout. Simmons Milk Alternative Solutions. Let's milk together. And for those of you at home thinking, I'd sure love to throw a multi-episode paid sponsorship at a podcast right now. This podcast and this ad is for you. I've heard our listeners are dying to know where to get their next affordable mattress, if you know what I mean.
On today's battle, we bring you 2 games that make you want to say, ASL, get ready to Cyberpunk. 2077 is really far away, so we're going to bring 2 competitors together to see who will stand victorious for the title of Cyberpunk game to hold you over to 2077.
The first contender on today's head-to-head matchup is Cloudpunk. Released back in April from the studio's Iron Lands, it features praiseworthy voice acting, a beautiful neon cityscape, and a talking dog. It retails for a modest $19.99. This is a story-driven cyberpunk game in which you will be door-dashing packages between many of the male-nourished voxel NPCs across this cloud-covered dystopian cityscape. You control Rania, a hood-covered plank of wood with a human face drawn on it, joined by her dog-turned-AI bud, Camus. And her blank personality is dragged through the story by Control, her grumbly-voiced geezer dispatcher in the late stages of dementia. In this Blade Runner meets Amazon Prime crossover, you're going to move packages for Cloudpunk, an illegal postage company with the most lax delivery schedule since CD Projekt Red. With seldom a rush or deadline, you'll be spending most of your time cruising around in your hover Lego car, chilling out to the sound of perpetual rain and lo-fi synthwave beats to relax/deliver to. As this game relies heavily on ambience. Or was it Ambien? I don't remember. Once you've secured one of the 6 parking spaces that's provided for the over 30,000 plus residents, you'll leg it towards the marker while engaging every homeless person on the way in riveting conversation while fishing collectible garbage from the dirty alleyways before finally sauntering up to the waiting recipient, but not before enjoying a bowl of ramen and a bowl of hard drugs all but 2 feet away from them.
All right, so when I first played Cloudpunk, I gotta say it was a beautiful game, right? Absolutely, there's no denying that. I wanted to know, Jake, what were your thoughts on the voxel art on the character models? Did that take you out of it? Was it fine? What did you think?
Yeah, okay, so I'll just admit it, like right up front. At first, it was super jarring. Whenever I saw Rania and, well, I mean, basically everyone, they all look like Minecraft creations. You know, when people sculpt things out of Minecraft, like that's what it looks like. Every single person in this game, that's what they look like. And yes, 100%. The world itself, I mean, it they weren't going for realistic. It has that nice cartoony kind of look to it. But yeah, the characters did throw me off in the beginning. And for the first, I don't know, half hour or so, it was a little hard because there's a huge juxtaposition between your fucking Minecraft statue and the actually very well done portraits that pop up whenever somebody's talking. Those are great. And I mean, when you see that, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's cool. If I was playing Shadowrun or something, like, I would want that for my character. I did get used to it, though, pretty soon because my brain kind of connected it to other games I've played, namely the Wasteland series. I mean, that's just a simple top-down isometric narrative-driven game, and the characters, I mean, you hardly ever see them. They're just little guys, but the portraits are well. So it didn't take me long to stop caring about what those little block monsters looked like and started focusing on the portraits instead. But yeah, I'll admit, super jarring at first.
See, but that was a problem for me because those portraits gave me like a physically violent reaction. I could not handle them because not only did the models not match up to them, but the voices sometimes did not match up to them at all. I mean, like you'll have kind of the skinny nerdy looking dude as the portrait, but then he's got like a beefy Italian voice, and then his voxel NPC is like a bald cyber kind of like high status dude, and it gave me dysmorphia. Not of my body, but somebody else's. Like, I don't know if that's possible, but I got, outward body dysmorphia from
dysmorphia by proxy?
Yeah. Is that possible? Can you get dysmorphia about other people's bodies?
Vicarious body dysmorphia.
Dysmorphia.
So, yeah, man, that is totally fair. Because the tunes often don't match. And that is actually another criticism I have of Cloudpunk as well, is some of the voice actors do really well. Some of them are really bad.
Yeah.
And for a narrative-driven story, you can't have that.
It's a weird mix. Like they went to different studios, or somehow they got. I don't know why there was different levels of professionalism or skill within the voice actors. They should have all been at the same rank, especially for the main character.
It's probably like a brother. They were like, "Oh yeah, you can be in my game."
That's what That was my theory on the main character.
I thought the main character was pretty good.
I liked the main character too.
You liked her voice acting performance?
Yeah. There were a couple lines near the beginning that were a little wonky, but once you get into it was fine.
What?
Yeah, I liked her delivery. I really did. Again, coming from someone who likes Mass Effect so much, Mass Effect 1, a lot of those lines are delivered so dry by Shepard. But it's all about context, I guess. But I ended up liking Rania. I especially liked Control. I thought Control was the best performance of the whole game. Control was great. Camus was a lot of fun too.
Yes, absolutely.
Your dog car. Yeah, so it seems like a lot of the supporting characters were really good. But yeah, like the random people you meet on the street, they're 80% not great.
I didn't really talk to anybody on the street.
I'm going to jump back because I want to say for me, the problem I had with Rania, she didn't feel ingrained. And I know she's supposed to be from outside the city, but she just did not feel like she fit in. She felt like she was from a Stardew Valley game or something else. She did not feel like she was in a Cyberpunk game to me. And
that might be part of it. You know, like that idea that everybody hates Hayden Christensen as Anakin, but it's because he played Anakin the way Anakin was supposed to be played. Like he was so good at it that people hated him because they thought he was Anakin, you know?
Right.
I think you might be getting the same feel because she was from the country. She saw the sky. She played flute, and her mom goes to, spoiler alert, her mom gets taken and...
Oh, wait. Yeah, how spoiler-y do we want to make this? Because I don't want to ruin the story if somebody really wants to play this.
No,
maybe
like unplugged fridge spoiler.
Okay.
Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Maybe we don't.
Know what it means.
Maybe
just rotten, spoiled all the way through.
Maybe we just don't go past the first encounter, or we don't even go to the first encounter. We just call it the first encounter.
Well, I think maybe the fourth encounter of a different kind.
I don't know.
Fifth?
I think this is early enough,
Fourth
right?
base.
What I'm about to talk about with the flute, or is that later in the game?
I mean,
Not
it's brought up.
Bandcamp.
It's brought up plenty. So I don't know. Just do it. Spoiler alert! Everyone,
Okay.
plug their ears.
Spoiler, if you don't want to hear it. So you play Rania, who is from the country, blue skies. Well, I don't know if they're blue, but you see the sky, and you play flute, and you're living your life. And then your mom can't pay for your flute anymore, so the debt corps, because this is a dystopian future, come and take her away, and it's alluded to that they just kill her. Or maybe they send her to work somewhere, I don't know. I think they kill her. And so you have no money, and you have to kind of like leave, and the debt corp is following you because they have to get back the money, and you have the flute, and it's this whole ordeal. So you go into this new world not knowing anybody, and you're looking for a job, and the only job you can get in this cyberpunk dystopian future is an illegal job because the debt corp is looking for you. Mm-hmm. So it's like this whole thing, and you as a character, you don't fit in. You're from a different world, basically. So it's kind of meta, really, and I don't think this was why they did it, but I could see that as an extra layer of like, that's kind of cool built in on it.
As a lucky excuse for poor voice acting, I could see that. Like,
Oh man,
I'm sorry, I don't want to be. I mean, I know I'm broadcasting my voice, and I could be judgmented right now, but
hot take.
I gotta call
Cowboys hot take. Brand it.
a hot take. Just sliding out a fresh hot take.
Oh no!
Fresh, just squeeze
fresh
a
out
hot
the
take.
cowboy. Fresh squeezed hot take. Just gonna squeeze this one all over the podcast. Sorry. So it was flat. Nothing was committal to it. Like, people would tell her stuff, and she would just say her lines. Later, I did realize later that she actually began to deliver more as if being impacted by the other people's lines, but it was almost as if she didn't care, or she was on some sort of like mood-altering drug, because you never felt like the emotion or the weight. When somebody tells her something sad, and the line is like, "I'm really sorry for you," she's like, "I am really sorry for you." That is
Really?
horrible.
See, okay,
I got that right off her. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying.
And-
I'm treading really
The
hard.
internet agrees with me. The internet agrees with me.
Oh, if the internet agrees. So I'm trying really hard not to spoil anything. In the later parts of the game, when character arcs start concluding, and there are high emotion moments, she does really well. I would say, because I beat the game a few hours before we started recording. The main story conclusion and what happened to some of those supporting characters at the end.
Oh yeah.
I was immersed, man. I felt it. I really felt it. Because I just spent it's not a long game. I just spent like the last 9 hours or so with these characters. It was just a day in the life story. It takes place in one night.
It's one night?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, night doesn't end.
Well, it's one night.
It's one workday. This whole game is one workday.
It's a 9-hour shift, and you work it in 9 hours. Like, it's
Yeah.
There's a lot of meta elements like that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and the shit that happens in that 9-hour shift. But yeah, there were a lot of high emotion moments towards the end, and I really felt it. And I think the major players, the characters who matter in the story, really did well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't want to say the game misses on all fronts. You know, I want to call what I see where I see it. But I will agree with you, definitely, that some of the characters that I spoke to the writers were brave enough to like strive out on quirky stories and give them actual characters. And I spent the first like 10 minutes judging the game until I came across a character that I liked. And then I got pulled in.
Yep.
So
For me, that was Camus. As soon as Camus showed up, I was like, okay, I can forgive the voxel weird stuff. I can forgive all that. But that moment that Camus and the Rania had that connection, I was like, this is cool. I like this.
Yeah, and it shows there was actual effort. It wasn't, when the writing pops up and you get all these characters and these emotions, it shows, hey, they were limited as a team or whatever, or, the production of it with the gameplay wasn't up to snuff, but there was a team that actually focused and did their work. It was just over in this area, and that area was story and characters. And so if you like that stuff, it's great for that, and you should approach it for that,
Yeah, and I'll give that to you too. The first hour or so of this game is on purpose cut and dry. I mean, it's a delivery service. You're running packages. In the first hour, I was under the impression that was going to be the game, and I was about to write it off too. I really was. I was about to write the story off, but yeah, I think it may have been Camus as well that pulled me in. What do you guys think about gameplay itself? I mean, specifically, really all you do is run around and talk to people and fly. They call it a Hava.
Yeah, Hava.
Your flying car. How did you guys feel about? I mean, the only gameplay mechanic there is flying that Hava.
I found that the best way to answer this is with a question, and that question is, what gameplay?
Yeah.
It's 100% fetch quests. And I never really had the same issue as I think the internet does with fetch quests. They never really bothered me. I'm like, okay, great. Now I don't have to waste health potions. So, it's an easy quest. I get some experience. I progress the story, whatever it is. I think the gameplay was not standard.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not even for, a visual novel style, because those you have, arching, branching pathways. And while no spoilers here, you may have some of that. It's not to the same level of, say, a New Vegas, right? It's not built to be that massive where the stuff you do actually matters in the long term.
Yeah.
So there's some negatives there, but overall I thought the flying around, living in the world, that's what I wanted from a Cyberpunk game in the first place. I wanted to feel like I was in the future. I was in this dystopian future with the neon and the signs and the flying cars and the weird people and androids and dogs that become AI. And this game really, the gameplay was suited to that. So the gameplay is all about getting you into that world and just living in it. And kind of hearkening back to Phasmophobia, where we said, part of the gameplay is just being immersed in, hey, this is my job now. I think it's the same thing with Cloudpunk.
There was tons of moments where I was just wandering the streets and doing that. So I think you're right in that regard. But the thing that I find sad, and I think this is what happened, is that if you created this game without this driving mechanic as, say, a visual novel form, and you presented it to me, and I would be like, wow, this story is really cool. Actually, I like this. And then you go, hey, look, I added in a car you can drive around in between the story segments. And that would be like, oh, that's a neat addition. However, it's marketed as a full game, and so it gave me too much hope that I would get to live out the life of a delivery driver with an apartment, and they even told me I could eat food and that I was broke and I had to struggle for money. So they gave me hope that I'd have a big set of gameplay, and then that didn't come through. So it was a fine addition, but that shot itself in the foot in a way, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's my hot take on it.
I don't even know if that's a hot take, man, because I think I agree with all of that. There were so many elements of that game as well, as far as items go, that serve really no purpose. You can order food and eat it, but it doesn't do anything. There's drugs to take, but aside from a cool effect, nothing else happens.
Did you buy the game console that you can't use and you're super disappointed about?
Yeah. So you can even pimp out your apartment, but you just click on a couple things and that's about it.
Here's my thing. If they had even thrown a hunger bar at me, then I would have went an 8 because I'm living that rough life. And if they had thrown like a sleep meter at me where I get tired, I would have been like, man, I'm going to visit my apartment and sleep. And that apartment wouldn't have gotten wasted. Like I visited it twice, like maybe 3 times, whatever, the bare minimum that I was required to. It wouldn't have taken much more to flesh out a little bit of gameplay, and I think they missed on that. So
I agree.
That's going to hurt it.
That's true. They had some ideas, though. I mean, you had to take care of your car. You had to fuel it up.
Yeah.
You had to repair your damage. That was a great idea. But yeah, man, it's all of the traditional gameplay mechanics that you expect from a game don't work, and they do fall flat in Cloudpunk. But I'm gonna say it, big old but. I still think it's an immersive experience. I still think it is. It's a story. Cloudpunk, don't go into it expecting to do anything video gamey. It's a story, and it's filled with a lot of really awesome narrative moments. Even if some of the voice acting sucks, even if some of the tunes are weird looking, narratively it just is so good, and it explores a lot of really cool stuff too. Like it explores gender fluidity. It explores what it means to be alive. It explores what is right for rights for different citizens, different kinds of citizens. It explores elitism. And it does all that in 9 hours, housed in, this Cyberpunk theme. I loved so many things that the narrative hit. And I mean, I can't say it enough. Narratively, so good. The video game doesn't exist. I don't know. Like, that's what I gotta say.
Well, in this battle is about not just tangible things, but a feel. You're getting your fix for that cyberpunk feel. And so there are moments where you can just put yourself smack dab right in the middle of the city. I think one of the best ways to get that feel is do not play in third person, especially in your car. Go into first person, and you will have everything inside that hover vehicle. You have the consoles. You even have glass floors so that you can see when you're landing. Driving around in that first person with all the neon cities whipping, or the neon buildings whipping by me with this hover track of a highway beneath me. I may have hated the gameplay, but that fed a fix for me. I mean, that's kind of what I needed until Cyberpunk comes out, is that feeling, that juice.
Yeah,
I loved getting all the upgrades for my cars and just trying to cut corners and like boost through corners and try to
wasn't bad.
Merge between traffic, because those AI traffic drivers are just terrible.
They are so bad.
So trying to wiggle around them to get to where you are, and then of course you have to go repair like 6 times.
Yeah, these little like 3D maneuvers around them.
Yeah, you make your own gameplay, really.
Like there was a scene in Star Wars, like Phantom Menace maybe, or whatever, with Anakin, when he's older. So maybe the second one of that, where they had that scene. They had a cyberpunk, flying through the city.
Second one. It's the second one with the assassin. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And I always remember that the people who edit those movies and stuff do a really good to give you a feel of like the weight of those cars, the sound of them, and the feeling of when they like shift upwards and they elevate those cars. And I remember feeling that same feeling as I was driving around these cars in this game. It triggered the same kind of stuff.
Yeah, man. I loved the sound design with this game too. The hover cars sounded great. I loved the soundtrack as well. That beautiful retro synth wave that they had going. Again, to harken back to Blade Runner, the soundtrack would fit in Blade Runner, and it was so dynamic too.
Yeah,
like they had moments where the music swelled with that awesome synth. I think they did really well with sound and music in this game too.
They did. Some of the car noises are repetitive and annoying, so there is some instances where you'll hear that just because you hear them so much, and it'll start to grate on you. But yeah, for the most part, all the sounds were great to me. I would say as far as the way the game was designed, there were small kind of annoying things that made it obvious that it was a small studio. Things like when you're backing out of the options menu, it backs you all the way back to the game. So you're just trying to change menus and it throws you out.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you got out of your car and went back in, you were swapped back to third person, or your camera for your mouse was locked. Just some annoying things that like always kept in the back of my mind that it was a small development, you know. I think a little more quality of life might have went a long way for me.
I agree.
All that being said, I thought the game was fun. Like, it was just fun. I mean, it's not the same definition of fun that you would get from like a Tekken or you know, even like a Cyberpunk 2077, but it has elements that made it enjoyable to me. Like, I sat down and I played it for like 3-4 hours straight the first night, and I had to like force myself to get up and go to bed because it was late. So
you do want to see what happens next.
Yeah, it was as soon as I saw Camus, I was like, I'm in. And then as soon as I got my new car, I was like, sweet, I'm in. And as soon as like there was all these different moments. As soon as the story picked up, I'm like, cool, I want to see where this is going. And there's all these like hooks that are put in almost strategically, where it's like, okay, you've done some stuff, boom. Now here's a hook to keep you interested for the next hour. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was awesome.
And if you like story, if you play visual novels, you'll love this. I mean, if you're not me, you will love this game, I think, you know, because you'll say, hey, what I want, plus cool driving and tons of atmosphere. So from another perspective, it's an amazing game.
Yeah. I'll say this. I've described a few other games this way whenever they kind of fall into like, I call it like an art house kind of project. They're not games, they're experiences.
Yep. That's the best way to put it.
That's very true.
So yeah, we'll have to see if it brought enough of that cyberpunk experience, that feel to contend.
All right, so that was Cloudpunk. It's a beautiful, immersive experience, but maybe not a game. Moving on to our next game. Take it away, Cowboy.
The second contender in today's matchup is Ghostrunner. Released in October from the Polish developer One More Level, it features blisteringly fast-paced action, awe-inspiring visual designs, and challenging platform puzzles, and it retails for around $30 on the Steam store. This is a first-person dice-em-up parkour game where you play a murder-filled cybernetic ninja named Jack. And not to be confused with Raiden, but they could be from the same family of vaguely Japanese acrobatic butchers. As the Ghostrunner, your goal is a grueling ascension of the Dharma Tower, a towering techno-obstacle factory, which also houses the world's biggest production of large convenient metal platforms, and warehouses more bottomless pits than a Bowser castle, all just to get back at the ex-wife of the now formless man that once created you. And if your parents are divorced, this story should sound familiar. Spread across these levels are all the lazy factory workers who can't be bothered to flee in terror as they try swatting you down from the air like a flailing bird trapped indoors. Always keep dashing, sliding, and wall running around these nearsighted teamsters to land nimbly behind them so that you can unravel them like their grandma's favorite meat sweater. As you quite literally level up through the spire, you'll acquire more power-ups and unlock the ability to help unionize them by disemboweling the whole group all at once into a single heaping pile of flesh and organs. Though you never gain the ability to outrun the ghost of all the union workers you've killed, because death by ninja was never covered by their life insurance.
All right, Ghostrunner. Hey, JB, how'd it feel to be Cyberpunk Spider-Man?
It felt good. It felt real good. Combat was so smooth. I was not expecting just how great it felt. Like, yeah, I'm going at 144 frames, so it's buttery already to my eyes.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But like, just a little humble brag there. But like sliding across the walls, jumping down, doing a sideways dash, and then slicing somebody, or even if there's shoot at the same time and you parry the bullet and strike them.
That's the best.
Oh, and then it was just perfect motion. They did so good with that.
When you nail it, yeah, it feels right. And it's just, you're like, this is me. If I had these augments, I could do this.
Yeah, you do. You feel so badass when you nail it, especially if it only takes you a couple tries. When you enter that room and you're like, I fucking got this.
Well, okay,
I don't
so
know
that
what
didn't
that
apply.
feels like.
No,
that didn't apply to me at all.
I did it like once or twice, and it felt real good. But let's address that. how many times it takes to fucking pass every single one of those rooms with soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, dude! I'm telling you right now, I played this shit like Super Meat Boy, dude.
Yep.
My guts were all over the room because I wanted to do it in the very specific, coolest fucking way possible, where I slashed 3 dudes in a row and like I dodged their bullets and parry 2, and I just kept trying. And you know, when you pull it off, it feels great. But man, it's my own stubbornness.
Yeah, when it's like attempt to 150, and you're like, here we go again.
I got this. dash slide into a jump wall run. Fuck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jake, you were telling me that you simply walked at them.
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
figured it out kind of early. Because okay, so most of the time I don't do super well with a lot of high action games. One of the only exceptions would be the newest Doom, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I tore shit up in that game, and it's hyper fast. But usually games like Ghostrunner, I ain't great at. So I usually end up trying to find exploits or to make the game easy for me. And I did find out that with all this super high octane ninja action, whenever a soldier is dialed in to their trajectory, it's there. So when there's a line of soldiers, I just start casually zigzagging towards them, like, I'm gonna kill you. And they're just like, shit. Oh, shit. It's the Ghostrunner. Oh, shit. I'm gonna get you. Yeah. And I just kind of like walk up and blap.
It's the centipede problem. You should have been shooting where I was,
yes,
or where I'm gonna be, not where I was. That happened a lot with me too. I was just like casually spiraling in on them, which I don't know what's more scarier, this fast-paced ninja cascading off walls, or this ninja just kind of walking up slowly and slightly to the side.
He has that swagger. He's like, I'm gonna kill you.
He looks like he's had maybe 2 drinks at the most, but he's coming for you.
I don't know.
Got a nice lean.
I don't know if I got like the hard version of the game and you guys got the easy one, but that was not a possibility for me. I tried. Like I tried wiggling. I tried strafing. I tried doing slow motion strafing, but more often than not, I would strafe into a bullet.
At a certain point, once you get close enough to them, they don't miss. This is something I noticed. No matter how fast I was moving, if I'm within 5 feet of them, they are snapped on me. Their projectile is fast enough. So.
Yeah, that is true. If you get close enough, it doesn't work. But that's where that bullet parry comes in clutch. If you're close enough, you start swinging, and even if they're firing, their bullets coming back in their faces.
Oh yeah, when you get the upgrade too, that makes it easier, and all that kind of stuff. That's when I started using it again, because at first I couldn't get the timing right, but once you get that upgrade, it's good.
So that's another thing I did too. I would enter a room and then just kind of like wave at one of them. So one guy is like, hey, and starts shooting at me, and I would just kind of pick him off with it and go to the next one. I played grandma mode for a lot of this game, I think.
Let me tell you, I channeled my inner JB on this game. And my lead W key was titanium. I figured out, I wouldn't call this an exploit. I'd call it a technique. You know, Apex Legend does this too. It's slide jump techniques. Yep. This game has if you can time it just right, it's a dash to slide to jump technique in which you probably move about 3 to 4 times faster. And I mastered it very quickly. And I wasn't even doing the puzzles. I was crossing gaps I was not supposed to cross.
Nice.
With this, because it launches you, and then you can also use the air dodge maneuver to freeze time, turn your body in air, and then just strafe towards the edge a little more. And so I was passing huge sections of this. And also, I must have looked like Sonic the Hedgehog with a fucking katana coming at these dudes, because I was approaching them at 140 miles per hour.
At Mach 3.
Mach 3, dude. And I was just swinging that. I never stopped swinging that sword, dude, when I'm coming at them. I'm like, I'm going to hit something. I'm going such a velocity that if I hit a toe, their whole body's going to hit the wall. I don't care. That's just physics.
You're like if the Flash wised up and used any weapon ever.
If the Flash just got a really long stick and ran at people.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he?
Jeez, why doesn't he indeed? Why doesn't Spider-Man have AKs?
Okay, I have said that exact same thing. Spider-Man should have an AK at all times.
Should have fucking assault rifles. He would be so unstoppable.
Yeah, akimbo Uzis, Spider-Man swinging from wall to wall. You couldn't stop him.
No,
he's already unstoppable.
You couldn't stop him.
If Spider-Man was a demolitions expert, just dropping Semtex everywhere,
Oh my
blowing up
God.
buildings.
Yeah.
Special Ops Spider-Man, the newest comic.
So, okay, let's address that too, because...
What, Spider-Man?
No, Ghostrunner is Cyberpunk Spider-Man, though. Like, I make a joke about it, but seriously,
With the
you
grappling
web sling the bad guys, like, the bad guy's Mara, you see it in the cutscene, the lady.
Doc Ock.
She's Doc Ock.
Yep.
The architect, with his illusions and big spooky face, he's Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're
Another
Cyberpunk
Zordon.
Spider-Man.
That's true.
He's Zordon. They're all Zordon.
And our head-to-head battle featuring 2 games with the best Zordon.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Lady Doc Ock pop up, I was like, can they do that? Like, it was so obviously a ripoff of Doc Ock.
She has extra arms. It's protected.
Yeah. Well, especially with the new Spider-Man, too, because it's a female Doc Ock.
Oh,
so
you're
it
right.
harkens back instantly.
Yeah, the new movie, which was great.
I mean,
Not to
Jake,
go off on a tangent. Yeah?
You probably played you played more of the story than me. I know that for sure. At least you paid attention to it more. Like, fill me in. What did you think of the story?
So, I'm going to be mean. Here's my hot take.
Yeah.
Jake's hot take. It was hyper predictable. I knew the very second they introduced the architect that he was also a bad guy.
Yeah, I knew right away, too.
Yeah, so going in that the only friendly voice you're going to hear in the game is Zoe, which stays formless. You never meet Zoe, but you talk to Zoe, and she's part of a group that put you back together. But yeah, like going into it, I'm like, okay, bad guy. Oh, they're both bad guys. I'm going to have to fight both of them, don't I? And I knew that like as soon as I saw the architect. So
whenever you free anybody and they don't go thank you and they say something along the lines of free at last,
yeah,
you know something's going on.
Isn't that the
you
law?
You have awakened me.
Isn't that the law of Rita Repulsa?
Yeah, that's the Rita Repulsa, the Rita Repulsa theory.
Yeah,
free at last. She seems nice.
Who screams that?
Well, good for her.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to like do a really smooth like foreshadowing when the face pops up at the beginning after you free him. Yeah. And it's like that wasn't subtle.
Yeah, nope.
No, it wasn't
failed.
It wasn't subtle at all. So the story was very it was cut and dry. You knew what it was. You have your faceless good guy, the Ghostrunner, which also goes by the name Jack to humanize him. He plays that faceless grunt who talks. I will give it to Ghostrunner, though, that I didn't hate this faceless grunt. He was a little more sensible than some, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He had that cool voice, but he was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're a good guy. Okay, yeah, sure. Like
he had the Gears of War voice without having to be a Gears of War dude.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, the main character wasn't bad. I don't know. There was a story. Going into it, I went into this game completely blind, and especially seeing that first cutscene that sets the stage, that introduces everybody but Zoe. There's only 4 characters in this whole game.
Yeah. That's all you need, baby.
That's all you need. Seeing that really awesome cyberpunk cityscape, I was like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be good. And when the game opens, it's visually beautiful. Like the game looks really, really, really good. I did become disappointed though when I found out that the game will only take place in one building. Mm-hmm. Like I was expecting to Spider-Man around a cityscape in the beginning, but that's just not the case. I found out very quickly that what this is in actuality, it's a puzzle game. This game is a puzzle game. Figure out how to advance. Which isn't bad. It's just not what I expected. And for as visually stunning as it is, and for such a cool concept as Cyberpunk, I really wanted to explore more than Warehouse A, Warehouse B, Warehouse C.
Well, you had
Yeah.
cyberspace. Ooh.
Okay, yeah, that's true. You had, so it was warehouses and Metal Gear Solid VR missions. Like, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the
And
game.
they probably could have left that out, if I'm being honest.
I think it was a typo. I think when they said Cityscape, they meant to put Skybox. You know, a Cyberpunk Skybox in the background. You'll be working in this warehouse.
Yeah.
Then. You know what's really weird with it, and I'm going to go on a few things here. Cloudpunk and Ghostrunner. We chose them because they were popular. They filled a need for the cyberpunk thing. But these two are I think diametrically opposite.
They are polar opposite, yeah.
Yeah. Every flaw that one has, the other one
Yep.
does well. Like level design on Cloudpunk fills it in with a beautiful cityscape of neon buildings. And this one sets you in a warehouse where, if you really start to think of it, what kind of fucking warehouse is this? What happens here? Why these giant gaps?
So true.
How big are your forklifts? It boggles the minds. Like, they're hanging angled metal plates, like 20 by 20 feet metal plates up on cranes, and you're like, Joe, what are we doing with those?
Yeah.
Storage.
What the fuck
You're
are you
keeping
making
it
here,
there.
George?
Why? I never got to play with Legos as a kid. This is my city now. You want to put some boxes on these platforms? Nah, just empty them all.
Yeah.
Put a few trash cans and some wiring around, but yeah, let's not use any. I'm going for open space. It's an open concept. Jesus, Frank.
Yeah, how many bottomless pits have you ever seen in a warehouse?
That's OSHA needs to be on that like fucking stat. Like,
And it's just
You
like an
gotta- I got-
open pit, and then it's like a crane that you have to hit a button to spin it around. Like, what's the point of that?
Yes, and how the hell did those soldiers get around, too? Like, think about them. They're not super ghost runners. They're grunts with weapons. Like, how did they go in there and be like, oh, Jesus Christ. Hey, Frank, go climb that platform. Are you serious?
some of them were trapped, if I'm remembering right. Some of them were on platforms that had no bridges or anything.
Yeah.
They were just alone.
Yeah.
Those those dudes, they need to unionize. That place is some bullshit. I'll tell you right now. That place is it's future Amazon warehouse. Is what you're looking at.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Shots fired.
Ghost Runner is a view into Amazon's future.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going with all like the tech and the shipping and stuff. Like that's gonna be, and that means the architect is Bezos.
Yes.
I feel like I'm getting
Absolutely.
too political.
That's not political. I mean, it's Amazon. Everybody knows. Jeff Bezos knows, too. I mean, he knows. He don't care.
He'd probably be like, yeah.
Probably. He'd probably probably.
He's gonna take some ideas from that game. Big evil skyscrapers, endless. I was speaking of the bottomless pits. Like I was just thinking, if you have a warehouse like that and you drop an order off the side, like that shit is gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
what
the
a
shrink.
terrible design.
The shrink they go through? Oh, my God.
Shrink wrap. But you ignore it. It's like Doom Eternal. Well, Doom Eternal actually like takes some measures to make the levels to disguise it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Some people still had complaints even about Doom Eternal, though. It was
Yeah.
more video gamey than 2016, and some people had problems with it. But yeah, they did hide it a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Ghostrunner is what it is on the surface. It's not trying to hide that it is a puzzle
Right.
platformer. It is what it
Yep.
is.
And I think it's the same with, did you just say Ghostrunner or Cloudpunk? Well,
Ghostrunner.
both. Whatever
Both,
one you
actually.
didn't say, I think the other one too. You know, they both
Counterpoint, I agree with you.
counterpoint, I agree. Twice.
I stand for everything you say. No, but I know what you're going to say, and you're right. They were opposite, but they both know what they are, and they went for it. You know? They weren't really they weren't really confused. Ghostrunner knew what it was, and it went for it. It had
Yeah.
no shame about it.
Oh, no. And I mean, it actually made the game shine in that aspect.
Yes. So, JB, what did you ultimately think of, like, the fun of this game? Like,
It was a blast. This
Yeah.
game was so much fun. Like I said at the beginning, like when you get that sick move, or when you're just like you've done this level 60 times, and I'm not kidding. I showed you that screenshot, right, where it took me 50 minutes to beat one level.
Didn't you have like 300 deaths or something?
Yeah, it was something crazy.
Yeah.
I kept doing it over and over because I wanted to get it perfect, and I wanted to do these exact moves, and I got so good at like the first half of that level that I could, without turning my camera very much, just like a flick of the wrist, a click and a flick out this way, and I knew all the button presses, and I flew through this first half of the level, and then I just hit a wall and died 500 times. But but when I did finally get that, it was like this smooth motion from start to end, and it's that feeling when you finally nail it and you're like, I did the cool thing. There's nothing like it.
Some of the funnest moments I knew is when I was slamming my hand against the side of my keyboard because I was just cruising around these dudes from all angles. And like, that's the way to play the game, is you are a ninja who just slides around these dudes. You spiral in on them. And anybody who plays the game, play it like that. Like, have fun with it. Don't approach them in a straightforward manner. Play the parkour ninja and just like dazzle these guys.
Definitely. Never stop moving. Be the coolest you can
Never
be.
stop moving. Yeah.
And you can wall run and jump off of practically anything. That's another thing. You're not limited by, like, with Mirror's Edge, you were limited to certain things. You could only go on these red ledges and these blue things over here you can jump off of. But this one, it's like you can jump anywhere. And if you look at any of the speedruns, they do. Like, they just jump off of everything.
I cheated by like climbing the walls. I would run along the wall, jump up, and then run along the same wall in the opposite direction. And I would just repeat that all the way up, skip all the puzzles. I don't know why, but I just like felt like it.
I just wanted to do it. And the game allowed for it. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like skill that's me. It's not the game leveling up. It's me leveling up. It's me beating the game with my own skills. So it gives you like a pride.
Yeah, I think the game, like, they intentionally left stuff like that in there, or maybe placed it in there, because it really seems like a game that was made for speedrunners who are waiting for Cyberpunk 2077. That's what it feels like to me.
Oh, and I did want to touch on that. So both the two games do the two aspects of Cyberpunk that I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the aesthetic and the characters and the story, which Cloudpunk handles. And I'm also waiting for those cool battles where you have all these cool augments and cyber ninja parts, and you're going at dudes like a ninja, hopefully, is the way I'm going to play it. And I think so these two games complete it. I think both these games can stand for a fix for Cyberpunk, but in two different ways. Yeah. So I think they were perfect choices.
Yep, one's the cyber, one's the punk. But which one's which?
Find out next time on Head to Head.
Find out this time on Head to Head.
Right. All right. Well, that's Ghostrunner, a high-action cyberpunk platform puzzler that you hack and slash and don't really care about anything else going on.
And last time, we had a bit of a small interruption, so we're going to jump right into it this time. I've turned off my emails. I've silenced my phone. We will have no delay in getting today's trophies and showdowns. So let's go ahead and... What is that?
Someone's at the door. Yeah, I'll get it.
Is it all right if I come in? The boss said I could talk on your show.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Terry. Yeah. Here, let me scoot over. Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, everybody. It's Terry from accounting.
Oh, were you the guest?
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
I'm the guest. I'm Terry from accounting.
Yeah, we know, Terry. We know.
I've come to read some of my literature.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we were about to kind of like end the podcast. Okay. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Great, thank you. I appreciate you being so willing to let me share my art. This one...
Yeah, sure thing.
I call this one Knuckles.
Oh.
Knuckles, okay. Sonic asked. Knuckles' eyes widened, and he looked at the Azure Hedgehog and quickly threw the blanket over him, a cherry red blush reaching his cheeks.
Oh my God.
Maybe I won't have to hide my secret after all, Sonic thought.
At least it's video game related.
Small fantasy speeding through his head. Sonic, how long were you there? Knuckles asked.
Oh, no.
In probably the most embarrassing tone Sonic had ever heard.
Go on.
I'm glad you like it.
This is great.
The smirk reached Sonic's lips again, and he walked over, placing the sandwiches on the nightstand. Sitting next to the Chrisman Echidna. Long enough to see that you're turned on by me.
Oh, no.
Azure
haven't played this
told
game.
Crimson. That smirk still on his face. Knuckles
Sonic
then
2006?
looked away, but then was surprised. I feel like you guys aren't taking this seriously.
No,
No, it's great.
it's great, man.
It's amazing.
It's great. I like it, man. It's good.
Very visual. Thank you. Continue.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic then, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little flustered. A little bothered.
It's kind of hot in here. Yeah.
Knuckles then...
I'm going to go break one of the other windows.
Knuckles, there's a hammer over here.
I'm not touching that.
Knuckles then looked away, but was surprised when Sonic grabbed the side of his head and turned around, planting a kiss on his lips.
Terry!
Knuckles then grabbed his hand and pulled his head back, staring at Sonic, shocked. Sonic? Knuckles asked. Why'd you? Sonic then cut him off. Oh, shut it. You know you liked that. Sonic told him,
This is a children's game.
adding a small chuckle to his statement.
Oh, all right, man.
The end,
That
please? Is that the end?
That was a small excerpt. It's a 52-chapter book I'm writing.
Sure, man. All right, Terry. That was cool. That was
beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes.
yeah, man. I'm all right.
I knew you would like it.
Okay.
It was great. That was Sonic and Knuckles, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you really captured the characters. It was good.
Yeah, that was great, man. It was good having you. It's
Yeah,
good
thanks
having
for
you.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I have another.
Oh.
Is it Sonic
This
and Knuckles
one-
again?
No,
Oh, good. Okay.
even better. This one I like to call
Mm-hmm.
Pika Bloomy. Ash. Ash. Calm down.
Oh yeah.
I'm good. I'm just excited.
This is serious literature.
Right.
It is.
Ash. Ash didn't stir at all. Ash, I know I've been acting really strange around you these past few days. Pikachu felt hot tears begin to run down his red cheeks.
Oh, God.
No.
But I just wanted to tell you, it's not your fault. And through his sharp pain, he could feel in his small heart. Pikachu shook the grip of Ash's shirt. It's my fault, not yours.
I mean, it was a pretty emotional connection between those two.
They are friends.
Pikachu felt a large lump form in his throat.
Okay.
His high voice was starting to break. Guess what I'm trying? Pikachu couldn't fight back the sobs he held back. To tell you is... And he pulled himself to mere inches from Ash's face and said in a quiet whisper, I love you. Ash. And in one quick sweep, Pikachu licked Ash's right cheek.
Oh no.
Okay. He's an animal. That's okay.
Surprisingly to Pikachu, Ash's cheeks turned a shade of red. But was it all worth it? Was there any point to what Pikachu had said? What had he confessed, even though Ash was asleep and couldn't even understand Pikachu?
He was asleep? I thought he was dead. Okay.
So, it was like a love story. That was...
Oh,
it is about a love unrequited.
Right.
Pikachu
Really
loves Ash, but Ash cannot understand. All he hears is Pika Pika. But the truth is a haunting love that can never be.
Okay.
That sure was something, Terry.
Yeah.
I have more.
Childhood ruined. No.
Yeah,
I can't.
So it was
I
good
can't
having
take more
you,
emotion.
Terry. Let me get the door for you, man. This was something. This was great.
All right,
yeah.
same time next week, fellas.
Yep. Okay.
We'll schedule with you. We'll hammer that out. No problem, Terry.
We'll call you Terry.
Yep.
All right.
See ya.
Bye. Good luck.
We need to get him on the show every week.
Are you kidding me? What the hell was that?
That was amazing.
We need to get a therapist on the show every week now.
The way he described Pikachu's love for Ash, I mean, that hit. That hit hard.
I think we're getting into some territories, man.
Yeah, there were some undertones that I wasn't very comfortable with. You know, I'm just glad it ended the way it did. But again, these are
do we need to call HR?
Snippets.
On what? Two dudes eating sandwiches?
Did you not understand what was going on in that story?
Yeah, I understood perfectly.
You kind of zoned out.
Oh, I was in it. I was immersed.
I mean, he did have his hands under his chin. You saw him, right? I don't think you blinked, man.
I only saw the one hand.
All right, let's finish this podcast. Let's get back to the podcast, all right? Game faces. Here we go. 3 trophies, 2 games, 1 ultimate champion. First up, the art trophy. Cloudpunk and Ghostrunner are vastly different journeys into the dystopian cyberpunk futures we all know and love, and seem to be stark opposites when it comes to the art and the sound. Ghostrunner is visually polished, but the environments are small and they don't feel alive. Cloudpunk took a chance with a blocky, almost childlike palette to bring an entire city to life, but there are stark contrasts between the lifeless toon and the visually stunning portrait. Ghostrunner keeps the action going with the driving yet unchanging retrowave beats, while Cloudpunk utilizes a more dynamic audioscape that would be at home in movies like Blade Runner. In the end, it came down to narrative. Cloudpunk shines with a large cast of interesting characters you can't help but care about, branching storylines, and a twisting, engaging narrative that brings the city of Nivalis to life. It's one of the most interesting day-in-the-life stories I've experienced in a while, and for this, Cloudpunk takes the art trophy.
All right. Well, for the game design trophy, I want to say that Cloudpunk did score great points, adding a first-person mode and a cockpit view with tons of small details programmed into it that really helped immerse and show that they have intent. But still begs the question, what gameplay? Ghostrunner just has AAA game design packed in to a somewhat smaller release, from the player guiding level design to the perfected menus to a lean but thorough tutorial section. To me, where Cloudpunk was a great story that seemed trapped in a game's body, Ghostrunner knew exactly what it was and wanted to be. It was a puzzle action parkour game, and it delivered on that promise. So it's no contest. I have to give Ghostrunner the game design trophy.
All right, and finally, I will be providing the Fun Factor trophy. This was a really difficult trophy to kind of figure out who I was going to give it to, because each game had a very different definition of fun. For Cloudpunk, the fun came from being immersed in the story and the environments. And the actual gameplay elements, while not necessarily standard in what you would expect from a Cyberpunk game, did enough to keep the game feeling like a game and keeping my interest throughout. Ghostrunner, by contrast, was much more game-like in its execution. The fast-paced action and speedrunning elements made it feel like a game where you gotta go fast. While ideally, I would have a game that had the best of both worlds, I gotta stay true to myself and my love for speedrunning and holding W, and I gotta give this one to Ghostrunner.
All right, so that is 2 trophies for Ghostrunner, 1 for Cloudpunk. But again, these trophies impact some of our thoughts, but they are not the end-all, be-all for today's showdown. They show where each game excels, but today's votes will be cast for which game best gives you that Cyberpunk fix while we wait for Cyberpunk 2077 to release in December, or who knows. So I'll go ahead and start by saying, Jake, what's your vote?
Oh, man. So this is really hard because Ghostrunner is such a fun game to play, and it looks great. But Cloudpunk just did it, man. It brought me to a dystopian cyberpunk future, and that's what I wanted. So I'm going with Cloudpunk.
All right, fair enough. JB, who are you casting your vote for tonight?
This was a much harder decision than I thought it was going to be. But I had to think about it in the way of, what do I want most from Cyberpunk? What part of Cyberpunk do I want right now? And that's got to be the atmosphere, the immersion, the narrative, the story. Gameplay comes secondary in my mind, so I got to give it to Cloudpunk.
All right, interesting. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make it unanimous. In a surprising bit, I am going to also say Cloudpunk. I wanted my fix of the bright lights, the odd people, the upgrades, and a tip of the hat to Ghostrunner. It is a great game, but it did not give me my fix. So I will be unanimous, and we're all going to say Cloudpunk is your fix for Cyberpunk game while you wait for 2077 to release, probably in the year 2077.
That's wild, man. I did not think that we were going to be unanimous. Like, seriously.
Yep.
I didn't expect it at all, man. Cloudpunk just hit. It just hit right.
Yeah.
It was so unexpected for a not game to win.
Yeah, the other one wasn't a Cyberpunk game to me, and at least you could allude to the fact that it was the combat. Could you remind you to some of the fast-paced combat we've seen in the trailers? But I mean, if you're talking like just getting you in the mood, it didn't do that. So, yeah, and I didn't know I was voting for it until just this moment, listening to you guys.
Yeah, I didn't have it planned out either. I was listening to the conversation we were having and kind of formulating it as I went. So
yeah, that's cool though. Yeah, I was surprised. JB, I thought you were going to be the tie starter, and then I would have to break it. So that's funny to me.
I almost did, but
yeah.
I was right there. It could have gone either way. I didn't know what the answer was before, like when I started the sentence.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Neat.
Wild, man. That was your gut feeling.
Bam! And we did it again. Another perfect podcast. No hiccups. I want to thank you all for supporting us in any way that you have with the download, subscriptions, throwing rocks and hammers through our windows. I really appreciate that. No, that comes out of our paychecks, but it shows you that you guys are diehard fans, and you know what? Maybe that's worth it, that I have to eat ramen all week. But no, it's worth it. I appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. Be sure to tune into next week's episode where we will be showcasing some of our favorite games to play with friends. It's going to be a battle royale, which is a new type. It will not be a head-to-head. It will be 4 games versus each other, so you're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, so buckle up for that.
So
as
buckle
always,
up for that.
as always, hit us up with those listener questions, man. headpod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Ask us anything, man. It can be video game related. It can be weird. If it's good, we might just answer it. Also, thanks to Metroid Mike for the use of our theme song, I Can't Break, off of his album Heart of the Juggernaut. You can find him on Bandcamp, on Spotify, and hit him up on Twitter to say hi. That's
METROYDMYK.
Links to all our social media can be found in the episode description as well as on our website, h2h, that's h the number 2, hpod.com.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Good night, everybody. Or morning.
Hey, what are you doing?
I got a hold of Cowboy's dong slider.
Oh, all right. Where is he?
He's trying to pee. Hold on.
Stop it! I can't even remember what it's supposed to be anymore.
Oh, dude, you're heartless. Yeah, give me that. No, let go. Oh, shit. Whoops.
What did you do?
I broke it. It kind of went into the negatives right there.
Nice.